Okay guys, just out here. I have a 2005 Yamaha 25 two-stroke motor on the Lund here. Give you a quick tour of the boat. It's just a little 14 foot, but we're gonna change the gear oil on it today. So that being said, I'm gonna show you what you need and what you need to get going and what to look out for if you're a beginner. Now, if you've already done it a million times, don't even watch this video. Gear oil, little pump kit. You can buy them at any boat store. You can get them anywhere. You want a little rag, you're gonna want a little oil canister to catch all your oil. You're gonna want a flathead screwdriver. Now make sure the flathead screwdriver you get is the full width of your screws on your outdrive on your motor, because if it's smaller you'll end up stripping the screws out. Okay, so one of the first things I do is I will flip the motor up all the way like this, and I get my screwdriver and I'll crack those seals on the screws real quick. Just to get them loose. I already did it on here for the video to make it quicker, but a lot of times they'll tighten up over the year of driving with like the heat and using the motor, so you can put them snug and then the next year they'll be tight. So just make sure you have the biggest screwdriver you can fit possibly in there, get them loose, and then flip that back down just to so you're not struggling on the ground. Okay, now I'm going to take my top screw out. Back that right off. Make sure that O-ring comes with it. Inspect it. It looks good. If they seem like they're dry and cracked, you want to replace them for sure. Then I'll go ahead and grab the bottom one, get that out of there. You're gonna get oil everywhere when you do this, so I highly recommend doing it on a gravel driveway. I wouldn't do it up on your cement or anywhere like that, but make sure you grab that O-ring on that one too. And as it's coming out, take a look at it. If it's a little bit milky, means you got a little bit of water coming in from somewhere. This one isn't too bad. It's just fairly black. There's no, you got to look for metallic pieces too. Sometimes there's, just from using the motor, there's metal pieces in there. But anyways, a couple things to look for. Keep your screws separate so you know which one. You always want to put the same one back in the same hole, obviously. Give that a minute to drain, and peel open your little package. Get your pump set up. Try not to break it. Get everything out. There we go. You're going to take the straw end, put that right in the end of the pump so it goes down into the bottle. Oh, there you go. Like that. That'll go right in there. This end, I'm going to take the cap off. And a thread this guy on there, just like that. Make sure that little rubber gasket's on there, and that goes in the bottom. It's still draining, so you want to give it about 3 to 5 minutes maybe, and then come back and deal with it after it's empty. Now what I like to do is I like to screw that top piece in here. Just real quick, nothing crazy. And once you got it in there tight, make sure all the kinks are out of your hose. You'll see on the bottom there's barely any oil coming out, but I'll give it a couple shots, just maybe like 2.5, but just enough to so you can see it coming out again. What that does is it rinses all the extra, it gives it a little extra rinse. Send some new oil through there. You can see the new oil coming out now. Gets all that old oil out of there. That's all. That's all that does. And give that an extra minute to seep out of there again. Okay, so now you're going to take your pump, screw it in the bottom end, obviously. Make sure, oh, one other thing before you do that. Grab your bottom end screw and just get a feel for where that screws in. A lot of guys, they'll put their oil in, it'll come up, and then they take the pump out, they put their screw in the top, they take the pump out, and then they're just fidgeting trying to get that bottom screw in. And what happens is you lose a lot of oil that's in there, and you might not have enough in there for your gears. So you don't want to be struggling when you're putting your oil in the bottom, or putting your screw in the bottom end with the new oil that you just paid good money for it. It's all leaking out. So get familiar with where that screw goes in before you put the oil in. Just kind of play with it and get the angle right, so when you go to put it in, you know where it goes and how it goes in there. Alrighty, stick the pump in there. That lined up right. There we go. A little swirl action like that helps it not kink. Swivels on there pretty easily. So snug that up. Start pumping. Pump right from the top. You're going to get oil leaking out everywhere as soon as it comes out the top. And it's just starting to come out now. So what I like to do is make sure I have my my screw all cleaned off on the top. Get it nice and shiny. I'll give it one more little pump just to make sure that oil's coming out of there good, and I'll stick this screw right in there. Make sure you snug these up, but don't over tighten them like crazy, because they will get tighter. And your O-ring will squish out the sides too. Now sometimes if you over tighten it, it'll pop off and your O-ring will go over top of your screw head. So that's kind of a good indication to get a new O-ring, or don't tighten it so tight. Okay, this bottom one in here. And be ready, because that oil's going to come out. And once you get that bottom screw in there, you can just wipe up any excess oil. And you should be good to go.